Welcome to Toffee TV. I am joined by the one and only Super Kevin Campbell. Looking relaxed, I've got to say, looking chilled. Kev, how are you?
Baz, I'm great. I'm feeling good. Doing plenty of podcasts and stuff online. Just trying to make the most of the situation, to be honest.
Yeah. It's difficult, isn't it? Obviously, we've got to just follow what the guidelines are, I suppose, and try to keep fit, which you normally have no problem doing. Looking in great shape again.
Yeah, I feel. Listen, I've early doors. I've got my routine together. You know, the training routine and regime and stuff like that. Do I like it? No, I don't like it because I like to be active. I like to be out there. You know, I like traveling and stuff. But you know, we have to play our part, don't we? And got to say a massive, you know, shout of appreciation to the NHS and the care workers and stuff like that. I think Everton have been one of the forebearers in that sort of thing. I think Gomez and myself and some of the other players and ex-players done videos for them. So I thought it'd be nice to just say it on here, you know, really appreciate all the work that they do.
Yeah, outstanding. I mean, they're the real heroes, aren't they? Going in and facing this every single day, and hopefully, when we come out the other side, they will get held in the esteem they should be held in, really, rather than seen as. Yeah, that's the big thing, isn't it? Some equipment would be nice as well, some proper equipment for them, but absolutely right, Kevin Reyes would be is the least they deserve after all this. Anyway, it is such a strange time, which we've just been speaking about. We haven't known anything like this in our lifetime, have we? Where football in particular has just come to a complete and utter standstill. So it's such a weird situation, isn't it? Obviously taking what's going on, just put it to one side. Football, I've said this on everything I've done here. Football's not really that important, but we're football people, so we love it. So it's such a weird time, isn't it, with no football on?
It is weird, but do you know where you say football isn't important? I think it is really important. You know, I think what this time is doing is making people realise just how much football means. We know health is wealth. We do know that, and we know we'd much rather people be, you know, healthy as opposed to being ill. But there's obviously other components to families and stuff like that, where football is the kind of connector. And when you don't have that connector, what we're doing now, we're watching all the old games, aren't we? And we're doing all the quizzes and we're doing all the other stuff to just keep us involved and keep us connected, because we miss it. We really miss it. I miss football desperately, and I know the likes of yourselves and the Evertonians and stuff like that, they miss the game so much. So, you know, fingers crossed, there might be a bit of light at the end of the tunnel.
Hopefully. We'll come on to that in a bit, but you've had a situation before you joined Everton, actually, where you had to kind of look after your own training and you were in a little bit of limbo and stuff. And I know it's not quite the same as what's going on, but it was still, you were unable to train with a team. And how, from a motivational point of view of trying to stay fit, how difficult was that for you? And then how difficult do you think it'll be for the current players now who are trying to do the same?
Motivation-wise, I think it wasn't a problem, because I knew if I'm gonna get away from that situation at Trabzon at the time, I'm gonna have to be fit. You know, if I'm gonna be coming back to England like I knew I would, I'm gonna have to train seriously, because I was training 3 times a day. Obviously, it's not the same because you're not training with the team, you're not training with the players, etc. But I mean, I was running in the morning, I was in the gym when the team were out training, and I was training with the under 21s. You know, after I was training 3 times a day for probably 3 or 4 weeks. Then I got the call, and then I flew back, and it was quite ironic. When I got back, it was I think it was an international break, so I had a little bit of time to catch up with the team, etc., and up my fitness, because obviously the game in England's a lot different to how it was in Turkey. It was more technical in Turkey, but the fitness and the speed of the game was tremendous in the Premier League. So, and obviously once I got to the end of that season, and I knew I wanted to stay, I went through the same kind of thing again, because I wasn't necessarily going back to Turkey. So I found myself training alone again. No team, etc. Running, doing all my old running and stuff like that, just to keep ticking over until we got it resolved. And gladly we got it resolved.
So how do you think from the current players then? We've seen videos of them online, seen Theo Walcott doing workouts with tins of beans and stuff like that. And, Dominic Calvert-Lewin perfecting his six-pack, and there'll be lots of other players who, Arsenal players I've seen doing videos. Everyone, it seems, has done a little video of themselves. But it must be such a strange situation for them, mustn't it? Because the season hadn't come to a natural end. There's no getting away and having a holiday and stuff. So they're just having to stay fit, because they don't know when, if the call will come that they're back in training. So it must be such a weird situation for those players, mustn't it?
Yeah, Baz. Look, it's an interesting one, because you're not sure whether the season is going to actually be cancelled or go ahead. But what you have to do, you have to think on the positive side that you will get the shout and you will be able to finish it. So you've got to stay on top of your fitness. You've got to stay on top of your fitness, not only physically, but mentally as well. You've got to stay on top of yourself and do the right things, because when you do get back, who knows how long the lead-up time before the first game is going to be. It might be 2 weeks, it might be 3 weeks, it might be 4. You just don't know. So the fitter you are when you get back into training, the easier it becomes to get ready for that first game. So I think the players nowadays have been doing really well for themselves. Using whatever. If there's tins of beans there, Theo, use your tins of beans. Listen, there's not one thing that says you can't use it. If you can use it, and it will help you, fantastic.
Use it. How's Therese finding it? Because obviously he must be really frustrated, because he's broke into Stoke's first team, doing really well, isn't he? Scoring goals, picked up an injury, come back, still scored, started scoring again, and then is he just going along the same path of just making sure he's ready even when the call comes? Yeah,
it's one of those things, where he's so excited to finally get his opportunity and get in the team, and look what happens. He finds himself on lockdown. So he's training like a trooper. The great thing is he's got a younger brother now who's full time at Buxton. So, they're having competitions and they're doing all kinds of things. And also with his agency that look after him, Full 90, they do a open session on like Zoom, I think it is, where the trainer goes on and all the different players, join in. Yeah. So there's one specific, there's one specific for the players, and there's one that they can do themselves.
Excellent. Well, that's good. I mean, obviously technology, like we're speaking today, is advanced so much that they can do this kind of thing, whereas I guess, without making you sound a little bit older, Kev, in your day it would have been more difficult,
It would never happen, Baz. It was never happening. I had to do my own. I had to write my own program. I had to do my own fitness, etc. But now, you could have a fitness trainer who lives in America, and he could train you over here. So it's great that the technology's moved on, and it's probably greater for everybody that the players are keeping themselves fitter. So when they get back into training, it won't be too long before we could get the games going, because we're desperate for it.
Yeah, definitely. And just on that brings me on to the point. I know this is obviously such a difficult question, and you probably can't answer it anyway, but just in your opinion, how soon do you think the realism of football returning is, and do you think it will return but behind closed doors, certainly for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, Baz, I think it will return behind closed doors. I think May seems to be the probably a start date in May, mid-May or whatever. So solely because contracts finish on June the 30th. There's certain players who have got a season, this is their last season, or got few weeks left. and their contract finishes on June the 30th. So if it goes beyond June the 30th, they're free agents, and any player and his representation worth their weight in gold would have already been trying to sort the player out to move in on July the 1st if he's not getting a new contract at his present club.
Yeah.
So, you have to take things like that into consideration as well. So I just think, giving it six weeks, you can get 9-10 games in 6 weeks for sure. Might even be able to get a little FA Cup a week in as well. Get a few teams playing each other. So that would be interesting.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly. Do you think the season will be finished, in your opinion?
Yeah, I do. I really do. I think there's too much riding on the football clubs finishing the season.
Yeah.
If they don't finish, there's going to be lawsuits going left, right, and centre, and the clubs miss out on a lot of money. And I don't think the clubs, as we know now, the clubs are losing money. So I don't think it's right that they lose out on that money. Play the games behind closed doors. As long as it's televised for us fans, brilliant. And, finish the season, then we could look on to what happens at the start of next season.
And just before I let you go, it will be really interesting, won't it? Because if they do return, just off the top of my head, 1st of June, and they try to get those games done by the 30th of June, whether it's 2-3 games a week almost to try and finish it. Do you think there'll just be a short pre-season then, or can you see them extending, kind of like pushing the season back? Because obviously you've got the Euros and the Copa America and now the Olympics next summer as well, which have been moved from this summer. So that calendar's getting shorter and shorter, isn't it?
Yeah, no, I think the pre-season will be short. I think what tends to happen is a player's contracted to have 4 weeks off.
Okay.
Sometimes the club give them a bit longer because it's a long old season. But the players have had some time off. The players have had some time off. Although they keep him fit, which is a good thing, they've had some time off. So probably having 4 weeks and then coming back into pre-season won't do them any harm. I don't think. I think the players will be raring to go anyway. I don't think they'll want too much time off because they've had a long enough off.
I was going to say, this will probably be, since they started playing, the longest hopefully the longest they'll ever have off in terms of not playing football matches, because by the time, I think we played Chelsea on something like March the 9th, I think, something like that, and that was the last time we played, and we may not play another game until June. Players don't get that, almost 3 months off, do they? Unless they're injured, obviously, which they're still working. So I guess the bodies, even though, like you've said, they're training and they're keeping themselves fit, they will have had some downtime with the family as well. So
definitely,
yeah, maybe the batteries will be recharged by then.
The funny thing, Baz, there's been a people questioning, should there be a winter break? Should there be a break after the new year, etc.? Well, we see what it's like when we have one.
Yeah.
Everybody's going stir crazy without the football. We're going crazy. So I just think, look, they've had a break. If we can get football going, let's get football going, because I think the country needs it. I'll be honest with you. The country needs a lift, even if people can't attend the games, just to be able to watch your team. And I think what it's going to do as well, it's going to give fans a bit more appreciation of the game, because
Definitely.
You know what, mistakes get made, but you know what, fans want to see their teams playing. Evertonians want to see Everton play. The Arsenal fans want to see Arsenal play. It's just the same all round, I'm sure, throughout football. So we just want football back.
Yeah, I think you're right. It is a new appreciation, and it'll be weird watching the games behind closed doors. It won't be the same. We know that. Seen some of the European games, and it wasn't the same. It had almost that pre-season feel to it because there was no crowd. But it's better than not watching anything, I guess, isn't it? So when it's safe to do so, you're right. I think it'll give people another focus, but the appreciation when we can finally walk back into that stadium and scream and shout and everything, it might be with it. I
want to get to Goodison, Baz. I want to get to Goodison.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Don't
we
all?
Walk the streets and appreciate it, man.
Be amazing. It'll be amazing. There will be good times when we can do it. Listen, Kev, thanks so much for taking time out your day to join us and have a nice catch up and looking sharp. And when this is done, to get you back in the studio and do a proper Kevin Campbell Everton career interview.
Fantastic. Well, listen, Baz, Ped, all the guys, everybody watching, thanks so much. Stay safe, healthy, and I look forward to coming back in that studio so we can get the Kevin Campbell Everton story down.
Super. Don Hutchison was praising you last week as well. He's going to come in as well, so should be interesting when Hutch comes in as well.
Oh, brilliant. Good lad, Hutch. Great lad. And I was absolutely gutted when the club sold him. I was sick because we had that connection, brain power, football brain. If you look at a lot of my goals, Hutch was involved. He just knew what I needed, and he could deliver most of the time, so he was brilliant. So
underrated as well, Kev.
Very underrated, but hey, you never know. You might, if he's in, you might want to get me in as well. You never know.
Oh, that'd be tasty.
Surprise.
That'd be tasty, wouldn't it? Leave that with us. Leave that with us. Right, Kev, I'm going to let you go, and I know you're a busy man, so you go and do what you need to do. But thanks so much for joining us. Delighted to talk to you, and stay safe, most importantly.
Cheers, Baz. Thanks. Much appreciated. Oh, come on, you Blues.
So a big thanks there to Kevin Campbell for joining us today for that catch-up. Make sure you give this video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and if you want more great videos, join us over on Patreon. See you later.